At the end is when you realize men were telling the truth. Subscribe, let's talk about it.
I have a thing for toxic energy, so I think there's still some more healing that I need to do, because when I look back on all of these energies, it's a shame I gave them so much time and there were sweet energies that I didn't. And so now I see those sweet energies getting married and starting families. I'm just like, dang, that probably could have been me if I recognized the security in those individuals at the time. And like now I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely feeling that now. I'm aware that there's something going on. There's something wrong.
What do you think it is that attracts you to like toxic energy?
I think they just seem really exciting at first. The chemistry is incredible. And they don't even always be fine. It's not even that like they're sexy or something. I mean, well, they're sexy, but they don't be the finest things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's just an energy. Sometimes it's convenience, what we talk about. A lot of the sweeter energies that I felt like weren't for me. I felt I could see myself falling asleep a little bit on the phone. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's like, if boring is good or not. Like, I'm trying to figure out what that means. Like,
it's the thrill.
Yeah.
It's the thrill of it.
Yeah.
What's
absolutely.
your sign?
So there's so much that goes into that. There's so much that goes into that. You don't understand that this is what men have been saying for such a long time. You took the criticism. Well, you took it as criticism. You didn't take it as, hey, we're telling you what the observable reality is. You were attracted to the dysfunction. You're attracted to the fast life. You're attracted to the roller coaster excitement. But that roller coaster excitement rarely pans out into the stability that you're looking for down the line, or that you actually are looking for. It's easy to get caught up in this when you grew up in this very same dysfunction. But before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. We're still going strong, still trying to do 2 a day, still trying to do a year where we're doing 2 a days. But hype the video, share the video. We got some merch in the store. So I like this video. I like this topic because this is what we need to see more of in these observable spaces. That you need to have the older generation, the old, Instagram models, the old ones that had popularity. You haven't really heard much of Ari Lennox in such a long time, but there was a point in time she was everywhere. She was on all your Instagram feeds. But now, over time, the game reveals itself to be cold. The game reveals itself to be cold, unfeeling, and just being played. Not saying that she was played, she was tricked out of spot, but you have the attention of men for when, especially you're in that type of lifestyle, you have the attention of men for a fixed amount of time. You are the it girl for a fixed amount of time. Not just you, but several others. If you can think back to yourself, right, men and women, listen to this. You can think back to yourself. There used to be household names you knew of that came up in regular conversation, who the it beauty was. But over time, that always shifts. It always shifts. There's always a new crop, a new generation, a new face, a new body to be there. It's not saying that you disappear, but you end up being a periphery somewhere. Not so important, not so sought out. This is just the regular time, because men's attention, especially men of this sort of ilk, their attention is fixed on a certain look and a certain period of time, a certain age, where that tends to crop, that tends to peak. Once you start moving out of bounds of that, what you see is people do increasingly wilder things or have increasingly wilder takes in order to stay relevant. Maybe some things are now editing their bodies, going under the knife, or getting involved in relationships that are not so conventional, i.e. someone is 40 dealing with a younger man at 25. There was a point in time where Drea was it, and then she started to fade. Then you heard about her again, but not in the same way. You never really recapture that attention. It's fixed, and there's always someone new to inherit that spot and take from you. But why is what she's saying important? Because we rarely have older women who were it now going back and saying, yeah, there's something wrong. I was fixated on the wrong things because what I really wanted, I'm seeing people get now. And I'm seeing, and this is a part that she's not saying, it seems out of bounds for me, out of touch for me. The softer energy she was referring to, they're not checking for her. You once had their attention. You said you're falling asleep on the phone with them, but you wanted the excitement. Cool. That excitement has an even smaller fixed set of attention. They don't really care for your larger outcomes, where you want to be, and that involves security. That means giving up this sort of, faster lifestyle. There's nothing more embarrassing when you see an older man in his late 30s, 40s moving like he's younger, talking about getting this fast money, talking about these bitches, I gotta get this. Like you look at that and say, there was a time to grow up. It's very easy for us to point that out in men and say it's time to grow up. We never really tell women that, right? When they're younger, say you cannot live this life as long as you think you can. It's hard for women to hear that, especially when they're in the throes of it. You think the good times are always going to last. If someone would tell you the good times are right now, you probably change exactly how you're moving. We try to tell people the same way we're talking about 401ks, we talk about preparing for retirement. It seems so far off. It seems like such a small possibility. I can ignore it. I can attend to it later. But that attention, once you pass through that window, drops off a cliff. Gone. And now you're left saying, what's happening? Where has all the attention gone? Where's all the... Now you look and examining your options. And because you never cultivated these things early on, you're left scrambling for purchase. You have nothing really to hand you over. You can't look back and say, yo, you used to check me back then. Yeah, I'm paying attention to someone else now. I didn't age out the game. Men still have the ability to attract women at a younger age, at an older age, their age. So their attention, they're going to say, I'm going to get what I want, especially if these young women haven't been taught better, haven't been taught the ills of what you did, what you failed to learn. And this is incumbent upon women to go back and tell other women, hey, have those conversations. I know you're it right now. Know you're getting everything you seem to desire from men. The attention, the trips, the gifts. You want all that. You're getting that. But that dries up very quickly. You need to ask yourself, what is it exactly that you want? And then work the hell out of that to obtain that. If you know this is good, but you actually want stability, but you can't seem to understand the difference, how to go from one to one, or you just simply haven't asked yourself those questions, now's the time. If you're in that age range, if you have that attention of all these men clamoring for you, bending over backwards to do anything from you, now's the time to have those conversations with the older women and say, what did you do wrong? And it's incumbent upon the older generation to be honest with them. Right now, we have a lot of people telling you lies, telling you that you can be, at any age, men are always going to give you attention. You're always going to get the things that you want. We said it on a couple of different posts, a couple of different live streams. The attention is different. We never look and say that one man's attention is not equal to another man's attention. If that man did something to become who he is, he did the work, his attention is not the same as the other one. You can get this regular dude's attention easily. You post something, he's in your DMs, he's liking, he's subscribing, he's doing all those things. But the men that you want, you can't seem to find them. They're gone. You had a moment in time where you could have caught them with their potential. You could have caught them when it was time to grind. You could have caught them when it was time to build something with them. But because you had so much around you and you never learned exactly how it is to go after what you want, you end up in this position. Talking about she doesn't even understand what it is in herself that's still attracted to this dysfunction. She hasn't identified the areas in which she grew up where this excitement is the most paramount thing. What you also end up seeing is people that haven't identified this, they try to wear the cloak of stability and never last. It never lasts because you're putting energy into who you want to be, not trying to move yourself into that space. And whenever you have to constantly put forth the energy, it requires time and effort. Eventually, you get tired. Eventually, your effort slips. Eventually, you revert to exactly who you were. Now, in the midst of your stability that you've created with this person, you want dysfunction, you want drama, you want excitement. You know exactly where to go to get that. If you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to sound of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. Trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.